Hey, all my crafty friends. I am Lisa Fulford, your creative coach, and I want to welcome you to tonight's project. And tonight is Technique Tuesday, so I hope that you will have fun with this technique. Let me turn down that volume. And so we will get started with this project. So let me switch to my tabletop. There we go. So this is the project that we're going to be working on, and it's so pretty that I like how it's made, and it just kind of makes me happy when I look at this. But it is a watercolor technique done with stamping blends. And so with that being said, I have a few products that I need to use. So I have the stamp for the sentiment. And I have this little paintbrush that it has water in it, but I'm going to use it with some alcohol. And then I have this die to die cut out the sentiment in our silicone mat. And we're going to need an ink for stamping. I have a few of our stamping blends just for the different colors. So I have that, so I'll scooch that up there. And then ribbon, and this is Petunia Pop, the bordered ribbon. And then, let's see, our card pieces. So for this card, we're going to need a piece. I have a piece of Flirty Flamingo, and it is 4 1/4 by 11. I've scored it in half at 5 1/2. And then I have a rich razzleberry. Nope. Blackberry Bliss. I do that every time. Blackberry Bliss, and that piece is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then I have a piece of basic white here, and that piece is 4 by 5 1/4. And then we have a piece of vellum here, and that is 3 7/8 across by 5 1/8 tall. This is a piece of basic white for my scrap to do my stamping on. And then for the inside, this is a piece of basic white that's 4 inches by 5 1/4. So this one here, I can also sit over here off to the side and go from there. So the way that this is done is we're going to use an embossing folder. And the one that I chose to use is the I think it's simply Zinnia's. And so I want to place it inside this embossing folder so that I get the most floral coverage that I can. So it's about like that. And then I'm going to just close it up. I'll move my pieces off to the side because I need to bring in my large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I have it right here. And I already have it opened up just so it would be quicker. All right, so to do this, I'll go sideways so that maybe you can see. To do this, you need your plate number 1, and then you take the embossing folder with the hinge right here, and you lay that down. And then you take your plate number 4, that's for our embossing folders, our thick ones, and you place that in like that, and then you start cranking it through. Should put the handle on this other side, but that's okay, I'll make it. So it's going to go through like that. Like that. And we can make it to the other side. All right. This out of the way. Take my cut and emboss machine, move it out of the way. Place that down there. The stamp set that we're going to use for our sentiment is the Courage and Faith, and I'm going to use this one right here. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart. I have that on the block already. We will open this up. trying to find on my page here. Whatever reason, there we go. I'm going to make certain that it is on there. Fine. All right, so this is raised up, and this one here is deep. Make certain that that's the way that I want it. All right, so this one here. All right, so this one, this is the front. Oh, it cracked. Tore a little bit. We'll fix that. So this is the back side. That's what I was thinking, that this was it. So to do this, it's kind of, I like these type of techniques because you don't have to be an artist or anything like that to do them. And let's see if I've got, trying to look for something that dark I can put under here. I'll just put this under there for now, so maybe you can see it. So here you go. So here's our piece of vellum that has that's been through the emboss machine, and then we're going to take these different colors, and I have mossy meadow. I have a dark one of those, and you can do whatever colors you want. I have a dark blackberry bliss. I have a light daffodil delight. That's the only one I can find at the moment. Dark flirty flamingo. I also have a light melon mambo, and then I have a light pumpkin pie. So I'm going to start with my yellow one, and I'm just going to like scribble it in places. I am not even trying to, you know, color in anything specific or anything like that. I'm just swiping it on there, and it's my lightest color. So then I'll go with my next one. There's the pumpkin pie, and this one here is like, the tip has seen better days, but it'll still color. And I mean, I'm not coloring in the flowers or anything like that. I'm just adding color to the back of it. So you don't have to be, you know, decorative or anything like that. I'm just adding color. Let's come in with the flirty flamingo and just adding, and I'm going over some of the other places I've already been. That's fine too. And then let's see, we'll go with the melon mambo. And I'm just not being very careful with like where I'm putting it or any of that. I'm just adding color. Then I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna do the green first, the mossy meadow, and I'm just gonna add some green here and there, and I'm kind of maybe putting it where I think there might be some leaves, but I'm not even looking closely to see or anything like that. So I'm just dotting that all around. I'm going to come in and add in a little bit of rich color with the Blackberry Bliss. So I'm just going to add some colors in here. I don't really want a lot of white showing, but we can fix that later. And I'm just here, there, and yonder. Okay. All right. So that kind of looks messy, but we're going to make it look like something. So I've got some 91% isopropyl alcohol, and I've got this little thing here. I'm going to add just a little bit of alcohol there. I don't need a lot. And then I have this piece, or this, it's an aqua painter, and it does have water in the barrel. And I'm going to grab a paper towel real quick. Did forget that, so just a moment. So I want to have that handy, just in case I need it. All right, so I'm going to slide that under here. And I'm making certain it's dry. I won't dip it in the alcohol. And then I'm just going to pounce on the Stampin' Blends that I've already put on here. I'm just making a mess, basically. I'm just moving the color around with my paintbrush. Just pouncing. And every one of them will be different because they don't ever turn out the same. Okay. All right. So I'm going to clean this off for now. Slide this out from underneath this. There. Clean this off. I just used it for the dark surface. We'll use it again here in a moment. So now I have this, and I'm going to bring in my heat tool. And you can let it dry on its own, but it's going to take a little bit, or you can use your heat tool. And if you want more color, like say I want more pumpkin pie in there, I can add more pumpkin pie. Maybe I can do another one here. Let's see what it looks like. Maybe it'll be better. Nope, that tip's not any better. Let's do the opposite and see if that works just as well. Yeah, that tip's better. So if I want more pumpkin pie, in between my flowers or something like that, or say I want more flirty flamingo, you can just add that in. And if you want, bring in this. Just tap those places that you added that color to. And up here, I'm going to put a little bit more Flirty Flamingo. Just tap that alcohol there. That. And then say I want my stem or something here to be a little bit more green. I can just add that in, and so you can just work with it and get it to the design that you want it to be. I'm going to have to invest in a few more markers. They've been kind of well loved. Okay, and then I'll clean that off. Squirt the water out of it to clean it some more. And it's just fine. So I'll put my cap back on. Put that out of the way because I'm pretty certain I'm finished with that. I'm going to just Slap up alcohol out of my container so I don't spill that everywhere. And that will just air dry. I put my scrap little bits and pieces in there when I buy when I cut extra, and so I just put that in there. So I'm gonna keep this. Okay, I don't want to overheat it because I don't want to burn it, but I wanted to make sure it was good and dry. So that is what we have now. Okay, so I'll remove this and then bring in my piece here. And when we put that on there, you see how much that pops. And so you're going to add glue to the back of this. That little piercing mat again. This is just one of the chamois that I've cut into fourths. So that's a little technique all on its own. Certainly don't, that way I won't get ink on absolutely everything. And this is a an extra chewing gum container, and so I cut this down to a fourth. That way I can slide it in there, snap it, and I can take it to classes with me. But I leave mine open so that they can air dry. And then my little finger dauber that I use for glue. And I want my little bit of glue here. Add that there. And I'm going to start adding it to the back of this. So I'm just going to pick it up a little bit at a time. Just start adding it to the back. And when you're putting it over the whole thing, then it has a tendency to not show in the background. Just taking my finger dauber, adding it to it. This vellum's pretty forgiving when it comes to techniques like this. And because that's alcohol marker, the glue should not be taking it up. So I'll hold this down here so I can don't get in the glue. So I can add the glue over here on this corner. So now this is covered in glue. And I've been using the same finger dauber for several years, and when I put it in that container, it keeps it where it doesn't get completely hard. Okay, so now I'm going to take my basic white piece, line this up on here the best that I can with just a small little border. Top and the bottom. Just work my way over and just spread it out so I don't have any bubbles, and that really makes that pop. With color. See, this one's more purples with a little bit of the green, and this one here has more of the oranges, so every time you do it, it's going to be a little bit different. All right, so I'm going to set that off to the side so it can start drying, stuck together. And we're going to work on our sentiment. gotta get that glue off my fingers. I'm gonna put this in the container so it doesn't completely harden. This has a seal on it, so, and it's just one of those little to-go split things that I got at TJ Maxx, I believe. So we're going to take this and our Blackberry Bliss ink. Ink this up. I'm going to stamp it right about there. That looks pretty good. So close this up. My chamois. Clean the stamp. Usually I would have stamped off, but I didn't have paper there. And then I do have my mini one here because it takes up less room. A bit easier. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. And then I have my plates nearby, I think. Oh, yeah, they're right here on my desk. So I want a number 1 and a number 2. My cardstock. I need my number 1 farther forward than my number 2. Because the number 2 needs to come out just a little bit past the number 1, or mine will not cut. So I'm going to come up. I'm trying to make it where it fills the box a little bit, and I think I'm going to put it under the ribbon this time instead of on top of the ribbon. So when I get it about where I want it, got some mint tape here I'm going to put down. Put my next one on. It's got to go farther forward than this one here. And then start cranking. Because if I don't, it'll just spin and spin. There we go. Sorry for all the shaking. You're enjoying this technique. I think it's really fun. So I put that there. And then my Petunia Pop ribbon is under here. Let's see what it's going to look like over the words. I think I could do that. That's what we'll do. We're going to put this down. I'm going to use regular glue. Right about there. See about where I want to put my ribbon. We'll put it right under that Proverbs. Okay, so that's where we'll go with it. So I'm going to bring in my tear-in tape. And go right across there. I'll take my scissors, trim that off. it around to the back side. Like that. And then we'll peel that off. Just using my scissors. Get back in camera here. It's kind of like that. And we'll take my ribbon scissors, cut this tail. I'll put it right about there, I think. And we'll take this other piece, go long enough. I'll go right across the top. So I wanted that to go in first so that it would stick down well. Go across there. And this is a silicone type mat here too. Fold it over to the back. Trim this excess. I guess I didn't need to cut it that long, but I want to make certain I had plenty. Now I'm going to glue it down before I tie that. I'll take this glue, just add glue to my ribbon as well. So like that. And I'm going to add it to the Blackberry Bliss card front. And it's a very small border. Just like that. Now that that's down, now I'm going to tie my knot here. I guess I could have just put a glue dot under it and just tied a knot and glued it on, but I like when it's actually on the page itself. So there's that. And then what I do is I do add a glue dot. Got a glue dot here. I'm going to open this up, put it inside that knot, just in there like that, and then tighten it down. That way it will stay and not untie. So we're almost finished. Take this, fold it in half. Folder, crease on that score line. And we're going to add glue to the back. I would do dimensionals, but we've got a lot of dimension with the embossing folder and that watercolor technique with alcohol markers. It's not really water, but it looks like a watercolor, so that's why I'm calling it that. Turn this sideways and make certain that this is the opening. Here's my top, because it's easier for me to line it up going sideways than it is top to bottom. Gives me different reference points, so it makes it a little bit easier for me. Press that down. I want to open this up. Bring in my inside piece. I do not have a sentiment for the inside piece right at the moment because I don't know who I will give this to and what occasion it will be for. So I try not to go ahead and add that to my inside as of yet because I'd like to kind of know who I'm going to give it to before I add that. Right, so let's move this stuff out of the way, close that box Junior Pop ribbon. That, get that, scissors out of the way. And that is our Technique Tuesday for this August Tuesday of August the 20th. And I hope that you found inspiration with this card. You can put it under, you can put it on top. It was mainly the technique that we were looking at, and so I hope that that inspired you to want to try to do a Stampin' Blends watercolor technique. You could use it with whatever one of the embossing folders that you have, and you can add a little bit or a lot. You could use darker colors, lighter colors, whichever that you choose, whatever's in your arsenal of Stampin' Blends. And then it works best with the higher percentage of alcohol, but I'm certain that the other one would work too. It just may take it a little bit longer to dry. This one dries fairly quickly. And then I just used my embossing, my heat embossing gun to move it along a little bit quicker so that I can make my my video a little bit longer. So I encourage you that if this is your first time here, or even if you've seen some of my videos but you haven't quite committed to subscribing, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel so that you can see all of my future videos and inspiration that's coming your way. And if you liked this technique, please give my video a thumbs up. I appreciate that. And if you would like to get information from me and the different projects that I have going on, or information that Stampin' Up, on sales that they're having, because this month till the end of the month they've got I think it's 14 different DSPs on sale. And so I send out a newsletter and email people. So if you want to get on my newsletter and email list, there will be a link below this video. So if you're catching the replay, leave a comment on my YouTube channel. And if you're here tonight, comment on the card what you think of it. And I appreciate you being here with me for this here Technique Tuesday. And I hope you give this Stampin' Blends watercolor technique a try, and happy stamping. Bye-bye. I'll see you later.